So United have got 5.
There's Saudi Arabian.
There's a Saudi Arabian guy who we don't know much about. There's an American who again we don't know much about. Like there's 2 Americans somewhere. Then we come to the real men. Sir Jimmy Ratcliffe, 70 years old. He's English. He's apparently a lifelong United fan. Him alone, he's worth 6.5 billion.
So he's willing to
6.1 billion. So he's
willing to put in almost half of his fortune into the club.
But he's the owner of Ineos.
Yes.
Ineos have an annual revenue of $65 billion. Annual revenue. Yeah. He also owns Nice. He owns Lausanne.
Yeah,
he has a sailing team. And he has a partnership with Formula 1.
Yeah.
Yes, and the team that was normally Team Sky is now Team Ineos. He took it over in 2019.
So he's a sports guy.
He likes sports. He's 70 years old.
There's something you also have to mention. Yeah, it's very obvious. He's British.
Of course, he's British.
He's in good standing. The thing I saw, you mentioned 4. Those are 4.
There's a 5th one.
And they'll add a 6th. There's like a 6th. The 5th one, obviously, is our friends from...
The 5th one is a man called Sheikh Jassim bin Hamad Al Thani. Ako na foundation inaitwa 92 Foundation. Apparently that 92 Foundation was named after class of 92 for United. He's also said to be a lifelong United fans. Yeah, and you guys are like, 92 Foundation, okay, yeah. They were asking whether he's ever been to a game. Wakaambiwa hatujui. Jimmy Ratcliffe alikuwa kwa ile game ya 99. Una ile ya Champions League? Alikuwa kwa hiyo.
Oh, yeah.
So asema mimi I was there on the day. I felt the emotion. Huyu yeye ni chairman of Qatari National Bank. Son of former Prime Minister of Qatar.
But now, you know, if the Qataris want to take it up, what happens? Because I know there are usually some rules that you have to ask. Because obviously, if it's the same consortium that has taken...
It is not.
It is different.
No, it is not. It's not the same. Yes.
It's not the same consortium. The one that owns PSG.
Yes. They've been very quick to explain it. It wouldn't be the same. And then there are ways that you go around this thing of owning 2 teams. Because if you look through Europe, quite a number of teams have got 2 owners Leipzig and Salzburg. Nice, City have a team. Like you have to.
There's Girona and
there's a way. There's a way you go around that rule. There's a way you balance it. Even one of the minority owners at West Ham also has a club in Prague as well, Croatia. So there's a way they go around that thing. But they've been very quickly to say this is not Nasser Al Khalifa for PSG. This is a whole different guy, and he's the guy who is saying, I'm buying the club 100%. Nachukua mpaka deni zote ni zangu. Alafu every money I make natengeneza hii club irudi mahali ilikuanga. Hii pesa yote tunatengeneza.
These are the Qataris.
Yes. Okay. That's the guy. He's saying, look, whatever money I get, I will invest it in the community and in the people and in infrastructure. I'm not taking anything out of it. Which brings me to the question I wanted to ask from Minute One. Why does the Middle East have this urge and drive
to invest in English
in
football?
sports?
Yeah, in sports.
Live golf, World Cup, PSG, EPL. Now EPL, they would have 2 big teams. They would have the Saudias who own Newcastle, and you'd have the Qataris who would own this one. Yeah. What is the drive?
I think good question. The Qataris and the Saudi Arabians, firstly, is they're starting to more and more enjoy sports. They're like, oh, there's this thing called football, and people can cheer it, and when you watch, your adrenaline can run high. The difference between them and me is that they have a few $1 million in their pocket that they can spend, they can burn. So why not buy a football club? Who knew Abramovich before Chelsea? Oh, nobody. Who knows what Abramovich is up to right now? Nothing. So the best possible thing, and if you are very keen, you'll notice if they want to buy a club, it has to be in England because of the popularity and the ramataz that comes around with it. So those are the 2 reasons that stand out. But it's not just because they're buying Manchester United or Liverpool or whatever as a toy. No, they love the game and they want to more or less be part of the passion and everything, just as they want to be popular, because when you're popular, your business grows as well. Now, my problem with the Qataris and okay, first, before I get to that, to prove that it is just not the passion they have for the game that they want to go into Manchester, they're also investing so much in their home. If you go to Qatar, for example, they have really invested so much in football and football infrastructure.
Yes.
They're buying the best players, they have built the best stadiums. So it's something that they have really gotten into at a big thing. So it's not just about putting money in Man United. They're also putting money at home to develop the game. Why they're bringing Xavi to come and be coach of Al Saad FC, for example, or Qatar SC, is they want really to to understand the technical part of the game, the administrative part of the game. How do we grow the game to be able to compete against Europe one day? Now, if it comes to Man United, if I'm just to maybe expand it, I'd rather this Jim guy. As compared to the Qataris. Why? The Qataris tend to lose interest quickly. They can put in $1 billion into players, and then after 3 or 4 years they start, okay, fine. Like if you're very keen on Manchester City right now, they're not spending so much as they used to. Of course, there's the FFP issue coming up on them, but they don't really follow their passion all through for 10, 15, 20 years. An American will buy a club, and look at Stan Kroenke at Arsenal, for example, with a plan. He will not invest as much, but he'll invest consistently over a period of time. But Qataris will splash and splash and splash and splash, but at some point they lose interest, and at that point you're not so sure how the club will be able to balance its books.
David, I have a totally different opinion. Yeah. I genuinely think that some of these billionaires and wealthy people from Saudi Arabia and Qatar and which other country?
Sana Middle East.
Sana and Saudi Arabia and Qatar.
They are buying these clubs because they can. They're just flexing. Bottom line, it's like
soft
look
power.
At opulence. Look at it.
Power.
Think about it. Look at it this way. Most of these people, look at the kind of lifestyles that they live. These wealthy billionaires from the Middle East. Basically, they're like, and what can I do? What can I do? Let me buy a football club. Yes, of course, you'll think and they're all supporting sport and all that. That is the PR of it. Bottom line is, look, they do it because they can. That is the main reason. Is because it's more of prestige. So when you're hanging around with your boys, so you find me I own this club. Me I own this club. This one tells you me I own this club. No, me
I just signed
club.
Ronaldo. Yeah.
Yes, you can imagine for them to have been able to bring. What, do you think they brought Ronaldo to help them win the league? No, it is a prestige, the hype. It's like we are able to do it.
Yeah.
We can.
But if you think about it if you look at it in a different way, and I've seen this conversation, is that some people are saying it's a subtle way of sports washing.
We'll actually get into that because I have someone who tried to explain why this deal is sports washing versus greenwashing.